What up, though? This is your boy Beezy430 back again with a part 2. Y'all know what this is already. Part 2 of my top 25 favorite hip-hop West Coast albums. So I guess, oh yeah, if you want to check out the part 1, a link will be in the description. Also, I'm gonna have a list. I'm gonna put the list of the albums as well. I know y'all mentioned about putting a Spotify list. I mean, I'm not really on Spotify like that. Plus, if I mention these albums, just go on Spotify, type them up, search them, bam, there you go. You should be able to find them. But I am gonna list. I'm just gonna list the albums under there just so you can have a reference of what albums I'm talking about that I'm gonna mention. Of course, this is a 5-part series, so part 2. So the part 1, I did 25 to 21. This video, I'm doing 20 through 16, and part 3 will be 15 through 11, and so on. You get it. You get the gist. So yes. With that being said, let's get started with the part 2 of this series of my album. I think I goes to what number 20. So let's get started with my ranked 20 West Coast hip hop album. So let's go. At number 20, I have Eazy E, Eazy Duz It. This was prime Eazy E. This was NWA was coming out with the Straight Outta Compton. To me this was sort of like an extension of Straight Outta Compton album. We were during that time that classic West Coast really put gangsta hip hop, gangsta rap on the scene at that time. Street knowledge at that time with that album. And Eazy, of course, it was written by DOC, Ren, and Cube, and all the MCs, the writers of the crew, man. So but it still felt like a good extension of the Straight Outta Compton album. It was dope as hell. That's the one that had Boys in the Hood. I think that's the one that had Boys in the Hood on there because it wasn't on Straight Outta Compton. But yeah, I think at this time this really was just like, damn, it was so dope because for me it felt like an extension of Straight Outta Compton, which during that movement was already dope as hell. So yeah, and Eazy he just had one of them real street dude type of voices on the mic that he had that presence on the mic that. Yeah, he wasn't spitting super. He wasn't spitting as good as MC Ren and Ice Cube, but just the way he was spitting was just so. It seemed so relatable. It's like, man, he sounds just like the guy. Especially growing up in LA. I didn't grow up in LA, but like growing up in LA, I can pretty sure some dudes in the hood was like, yo, that dude sounds just like my cousin Blase, my uncle Blase. So I just think that's one thing that drove Eazy was just his realism on the mic and just his down to earthness and how he just sounds like your regular neighborhood street dude. So. Yeah, Eazy Duz It at number 20. Definitely one of my favorite West Coast albums that I've graced in my lifetime. So there you go. At number 19, I got DJ Quik. Quik is the name. Debut album, DJ Quik. That's personally still my favorite album out of his discography. Quik he's had some definitely great albums in his discography. So not disrespecting all the rest of his albums, but yeah, this one, the debut, was definitely the one that kicked it off in his career. He is still one of the most slept on producer slash MCs in the game. A lot of people don't mention DJ Quik when you talk, who's the best producer slash MCs. Like this dude, he still crafted a sound, even though it felt West Coast, but it was so different from what Dre was doing. Because at that time, Dre was like, if you want a West Coast sound, you go to Dr. Dre or Ant Banks or whatever. But DJ Quik was still able to kind of flourish out of the typical gangster West Coast sound, I guess, if you want to say that was popping in the early 90s. And this dude came with that smooth type of funk flow, man. Like just that vibe. I love Quik, the way he brought that, man, to the game, which was so dope, man. So yes, DJ Quik. Quik is the name. If you haven't checked it out, listen to it. Quik is definitely a slept on MC slash producer, man. So trust me. For people who don't know, I'm pretty sure people who do know what I'm talking about when I mention DJ Quik as an underappreciated or slept on producer MC. So make sure y'all check him out. At number 18, I have Deltron 3030, the self-titled debut album. Group consists of Dan the Automator, the producer, Dale the Funky Hope of Sabian, the MC, and then you got DJ Cool Coley. Hey, this group, another group, man, they came with something different coming out the West Coast, man. I love this album because it was a dope, I guess like a concept album, a storytelling album, how like Del the Funky Hope of Sapien went back to Earth to like, you know, I guess, and then was battling MCs on Earth and battling his enemies on Earth. I mean, it was like a weird, like a story. I ain't gonna say weird, but it was like an interesting storytelling perspective MC. And Del, we all know Del is a dope MC. Shout out to Mike C. Town, because I think that's one of Mike C. Town's favorite MCs. But yeah, he's the dope storyteller. And I think for them to tell this story on this album was so crazy back then. This came out like in 2001, 2000. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, very dope album, man. Definitely a slept on, one of those slept on West Coast. And at this time in 2000, this was when we was kind of started to steer off between, you know, underground and mainstream. And definitely, this was definitely like in that underground realm in hip hop. You know, that's people wasn't really paying attention. People should have been paying attention more to this album, but you know, they wasn't. But I mean, you know, this was during the time where that's when you start having the blues and fashion, like just underground MCs that wasn't on that mainstream level. And this was one of those albums that like people was not really talking about unless you was just like an underground head, or you was really searching. Like you really had to search for this group because they wasn't on your mainstream level. But yes, Deltron 30 for 30, definitely a dope album. If you have not checked that out yet, please give it a listen. I'm not gonna say you're gonna love it. I mean, cause it's kind of a required taste, I guess, if you want to say, but I love it. So this is my personal favorite. Not saying if you can listen to it, you're gonna love it. You might love it. You might be like, I'm straight on this, but nonetheless, Deltron 30 for 30, number 18. I believe it's my 18. Goodness gracious, I'm losing my ranking counts. I'm crazy. At number 17, I have Warren G, Regulate, G-Funk Era. Man, this was another album, man. During, you know, this was, and I'm surprised this wasn't on Death Row. Like, you know, thinking, like, looking back, you know, you didn't pay attention. Well, you did pay attention to labels a little bit, but you know, I'm surprised this wasn't picked up on Death Row. Like, I'm surprised because I think Warren G is Dre's cousin, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I'm surprised this wasn't on Death Row, man. As far as with that G-Funk sound, a sound that, you know, Daz and Dr. Dre was like really creating in the West Coast in the early mid 90s at that time. So I'm definitely surprised that this wasn't on Death Row. But nonetheless, this was a very dope album, man. Like one of the premier singles of that year, '94, Regulate, which is on the Butter Rim soundtrack, got heavy rotation everywhere. Everyone was playing this, man. East Coast, everybody was playing this. Detroit, we was bumping this damn single like crazy, man. And people always talk about Regulate the single, but this was a very nice album. Like, you can damn near put this album in and just let it play, man. Warren G was just so smooth. He was just so smooth. It was just like so smooth how he kicked his rhymes and stuff, man. Like, nobody else was really kicking that, probably with the exception of Snoop. But like, nobody was really kicking their rhymes so smooth like that. And MCA, that's another one too, that was kicking smooth rhymes. But like, man, Warren G just had like he just had a different style to him, man, that I think a lot of people learned to love and appreciate, man. And that's another one that at that time was slept on as a producer too, because he did some production work as well. So yeah, man, Warren G, Regulate, G-Funk Era, at number 17. And last album to wrap up this video here, at number 16 is the Dogg Pound, Dog Food. Man, this was an album that was very, well, I ain't gonna say very, well, for me personally, I definitely couldn't wait to play this for this album to come out. After hearing them on the Butter Rim soundtrack, hearing them on the Chronic, Doggy Style, with Snoop, Murder Was the Case soundtrack, like, them dudes, they definitely had the anticipation level up high with me, because I was like, man, like, because, you know, at that time you had Mobb Deep, you had like a lot of two-man groups, you know, Outkast, Mobb Deep, you know, I don't know, I'm forgetting somebody, Gangstar. I mean, you just had, who else I'm forgetting, EPMD, like, you had like two-man groups that was tearing it up. And then I was waiting to see what these dudes was gonna bring coming out from the West Coast. And Corrupt and Daz, they did not disappoint. They did not disappoint at all. Dog Food is still one of those like underappreciated classics, I guess, if you want to say. I don't think this is really labeled as a classic per se. I would call it an underappreciated classic, just me personally, because they had some joints on there. I mean, and you can tell too, a lot of people too, man, but get on y'all. I've never said that Dre didn't produce, or he produced entire Doggy Style albums or these Chronic albums. I've always heard, it's always been rumors that, you know, Daz did a lot of ghost production as well on a lot of these albums. And listening to Dog Food, it kind of like made sense. Like once I finally heard Dog Food and the production style and the beats on that, I'm like, damn, some of that do sound like something that can sound like it'd be on a Chronic or a Doggy style. So trust me, I know. I've always heard the rumors that Daz actually did a lot of production, majority of it on some of these albums. And Dre, sometimes Dre do get a lot of production credits that I think he don't deserve. But hey, that's neither here nor there. Unless Dre says it or unless Daz says it, I haven't seen no interviews where Daz said it. I just always go by like reading interviews and stuff that they say that Daz did a lot of production on the Chronic and a lot for Doggy Style. But neither here nor there. We talking about Dog Food. Dog Food, wonderful album. If you're watching this and you haven't listened to Dog Food, check it out. Please listen to this album. Like I said, one of the underappreciated, Dog Food is one of those underappreciated classics, I think. Just one of those, even though I'm still saying classic, but it's just one of those underappreciated, dope West Coast albums that I don't think people mention a lot. So, of course, I just wanted to bring it up. But it's my number 16 on the list. So, that concludes my part 2. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. Make sure you guys subscribe, comment, do all that stuff. I know y'all gonna hate my list and where I place these albums. I don't care, because guess what? This is my opinion. These are my personal favorite albums that I like from the West Coast, and so be it. But make sure you guys tune in for my part 3. I'm gonna be doing albums 15 through 11. So that's gonna be up. I don't know when, but I'm working on it. I'm gonna have it up. But make sure y'all go check it out. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for commenting and always chatting it up, talking it up with me and all that other good stuff. Make sure you subscribe and all that stuff. And don't forget, the albums will be in the link below. So make sure y'all look at them. Tap them on Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you use your streaming services, all that other wonderful stuff. Till then, this is your boy Beezy430. Check y'all out later. Peace.